Round 2, blast off. This is the 4 o'clock class. I hope that you're doing well today. I can't wait to see you guys. Okay, it's 4:03. I'm going to wait a couple of more minutes. And if I'm by myself, then this morning's session will be the afternoon session as well. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes and see if anybody joins on the afternoon session. We had a great session this morning, and you will really enjoy the replay. This is the good stuff, the connection part. See a little bit of my house. Have the hiccups. who they are becoming. Oops. Hello, gorgeous. Hi, babe. Okay, it's you and me. So you ready to jump in? Just funny. Okay, no problem. I didn't know if I was going to be here by myself, which would have been really interesting. We're just going to give it another minute and see if anybody shows up, and then I'll start. Go ahead and start. Okay, great, great. Okay, all right, here we go. Welcome to today. I'm glad that you're here. And let me know, you should have the workbook. So we're going to just jump right in. We should probably move pretty quickly since it's us. And after today, we're going to download the 2 recordings and make a playlist because they're heavy recordings. They're very long. So we're going to make a playlist on YouTube and we'll send that out. In addition to that, we're going to also be making a digital course out of this course, which are going to be short little segments so that you can play it and then replay it and replay it so that you gather everything, because there's a lot of information in this course and you can implement all of the things so that you have a fully optimized profile, and you guys are going to get that as my gift. So we're going to be working on that in the next week to 10 days. And then I'll be selling that as well. So, but you guys get that as a gift. So we're going to jump in today. And there's a lot to cover, but it's a really, really great course today. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. And whoops. All right. So just as a little refresher, so we did the personalized URL so that you guys have a nice tidy one with your name. Again, you can always change that if you change your title or your course or anything like that. Oops, hold on 1 second. She's having a problem with the. Hi, love. Wow. Okay, let me really quickly, let me stop share for a second, and it did it again. Sorry. I even typed it in. Yeah, something funky happened with. Mallory. Oops, let me. Oops, hold on. Okay, I'm back. I just want to give Mallory a second to join us because there was a problem with her link. You from. Okay, let's just give her a second, then we'll jump in. So what I was just saying about the URL is that if you have a course or something that you're teaching, you can always change it to, your course name. So this could have just said blast off at the end. Just kind of a fun thing that you can do. So no big deal. I'm going to teach you guys something today that everybody got so excited about at the end. It was super cool. Hi, sorry about that. We checked all of the links, so I don't know why that happened. I'm so sorry that happened. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. There's a lot to cover today, but it was so much fun this morning, and we had such a great time. And they did have a lot of questions around content and building their audience. So I'm here for it. I'm not in any hurry. You guys can ask 1,000 questions. I'm totally good with it. So we're just going to dive in to the question. You can mic or unmute if you have questions. Just ask. We're a small group. So let's go to the workbook. Okay, so we're just kind of going over what we learned as far as the profile, the banner, all of the things, and just really reiterating again that the most important things on the profile as far as monetization and optimization are your headline and the keywords and the background. And the background, because inside the background is a lot of times what people do is they'll just put, I worked in this place from this time to this time. But if you fill it out and you make it really juicy with what you did and all the impact that you had, all of that can be keyword rich. And all of that could be loaded with like great words about all the things that you did, and all of that gets picked up. So it's not just like what somebody's going to read, which is awesome. If somebody clicks on it and they read all this awesome stuff about you, but what we're talking about is like the underbelly, the juice of the system and how it's going to pick that up about you. That's what you want. That's the really important part. So do yourself a favor and make your profile super keyword rich everywhere you can. That's why you want to fill out all the things, right? Everything you did, everything you did. So this is really important. So the headline, the video, all the different things that any place that you can do, you want to do. So we did all of that, right? And then I gave you some sample scripts to just do really short, welcome to my profile. I'm a life coach. I help people do blah, blah, blah. Don't forget there's a link in my bio, down here if you want to take a quiz to find out blah. So you can have these super short little things for your video. I would recommend you doing everything you could possibly do on your profile. Do the whole thing. As far as connections go, this is like 6 degrees of separation. So if we were to meet at a networking thing and I was like, oh, hey, I'm Elise and this is Belle. She's one of my clients. I want you to meet Mallory. So it's like, me, and then Belle through me. So that's like 1st degree, 2nd degree. Oh, and Belle's going to introduce you now to a colleague of hers. That's 3rd degree. So It's just how many degrees away from the person somebody. And they're all good, right? It's all good. It's all the different kinds of connections are good. It's just a matter of how much visibility your content is going to have. So your visibility significantly increases when you have an extensive network of connections and you're in the driver's seat of that. So you want to get your content in front of the eyeballs that are most likely to pull the trigger or make a decision in some kind of way, right? So, maybe ask you to be on a panel for something or speak about something or write about something. So if you just accept any old somebody, yes, you'll have more connections and you'll have more followers, maybe, but it may not help you with your goals. So you just have to think. That's why I first ask, why are you here? And what are your goals? Because if your goals are big numbers, which I'm not opposed to, and I think they're great, and they are going to help you with your authority, because people are going to see like, wow, Mallory's got like 75,000. Like, what the hell is she up to? And that's great. And it may even encourage somebody to be like, well, maybe I should check her out. And that's
Right.
great, right? So that's really good. And it may encourage somebody to be like, well, maybe we do want Mallory to like, be the person who speaks about or endorses or is the sponsor or the ambassador for our software, because we're launching a new software and she's got 85,000 connections or, followers. So it's
Right.
not bad, but that's a little bit of a longer game. If you want, it depends on your ticket, right? So if you have a higher ticket, then you don't need that per se. And I like this and that. I like both. But I want you guys to have, I want you to have an ideal audience. And so that's why it's really good to get clear about why you're here.
Okay.
And I have, if you look at my connections list, you're going to see like I have so many people where I'm like, oh my God. I mean, if they don't, there's some things if they don't have a picture, I don't accept it. Usually if they speak, I mean, not usually, if they speak in another language in the way that they send me a connection request, chances are we're never going to have a conversation. I don't accept it. So those are like, no. And if their profile leads me to believe that they don't do anything, I don't accept that either. So it's like, no.
Yeah.
Now I'm much more like, it's a woman, she's a coach, she's an executive, like she holds a certain position. You're going to see as we go, like I'll show you how I accept. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The QR code. So did I show you guys QR codes last time?
I don't think so.
Okay. So let me just see what's past this. Okay, cool. So I'm going to stop share for a second. And if you take your phone,
Mm-hmm.
your actual phone in your hand and open up the app. And if you look at the top bar where on the far right is the little message, the dark gray message box. As though, maybe you have a message in your message box, and the far left is the little picture of you. And in the middle is the search bar. Does that make sense?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to put mute on when I was searching.
Yeah, okay. So if you tap the search bar, just tap it with your finger, what's going to come up is the QR code on the far right-hand side.
Oh, cool.
And then if you tap the QR code, your QR code is going to come up. And then you have a choice to either share it with your code or save it to your photos. So you can right now share it with your photo. You can share it to your photos with either save it with your photo or save just the code. So I prefer to save it with my photo. And now it's successfully saved in my photos. If you were somewhere at an event, you can just open up your code and they can hover their phone, their camera over your code and vice versa. And then you can beam each other's information into your phones and be connected.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah. So it's like super, super efficient. And that's just one of the many things that I just love about LinkedIn. So, so we're going to go to the posts and all right. So This was, we spent a lot of time here. I kind of like jumped around and didn't kind of talked about connecting and how I connect and how I build an audience, and then came back to the posts. And then we spent a lot of time on the posts. So I'm going to talk about the post first, and then I'm going to go to connecting, how I connect with the post. So I'm going to do it in the order of the workbook today. So I gave you guys a lot of examples of posts, and then I also gave you what you can't see on the platform, which is so, and I kind of gave them names, and then you can see here the reactions, the comments, and then the impressions. And we talked quite a bit, and there was a lot of questions about like, how do you do this? Like, how do you just say what you say? And like, I don't know if I could say that. And, you know, what happens after you write something like this? And we had a lot of dialogue about that. And then what literally what happens after a post like this? And so I'll go through some of these, but you jump in at any time, okay?
Okay.
So like this first one, in the reason that I call it the ask is because it ends with, what is your life's work? So I could have also started this with, what is your life's work? And that's why I call it the ask. So I'm not asking for the sale. There's no call to action per se. In the comments, I'm sure that I left you know, my calendar. Before at this time when I posted this, which was, you know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago at this point, I didn't have the feature where I can link, and I'm going to show you guys how you can link your calendar, you can link an offer, you can link a video, you can link things now right in the picture, which is super cool. But I didn't have that feature. It's a new feature, and now I have it. You guys have it too. So it's really great. And I can literally put the link right on the picture, which is amazing. And what makes that amazing is that, first of all, somebody can click on my picture. Maybe they'll read part of it, or they'll, you know, I think of LinkedIn as like the Wall Street Journal or Vanity Fair. People read long content on LinkedIn. They don't necessarily do that on Facebook, but they do on LinkedIn. They do. And this shows you that they do. Like, there's a lot of people read. And so a lot of times the link for your course or your offer, and not just mine, other people's, it gets lost in the comments, but it won't get lost on the picture. And so they're really helping you with your business by letting you put it on the picture, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
So this was like the reason that this converts is because this is people's real lives. Like it literally speaks to people's lives. And, you know, I've been tested, poked at, bullied, demeaned, humiliated, and betrayed professionally and personally, not once, many times. I'm not looking for pity at all. It actually repel me. Currently, there are several difficult situations I'm walking with. There are days I shock myself, but I choose my life experience every single day. I choose it. And, you know, so the whole thing is just like very, real, you know, and like after thousands of hours with many hundreds of students and clients, I've gotten to know and understand and love people. This is my life's work. What's happened to you is for you. So this morning I read it and I cried, and like I'm reading it now and I cry. And so what that says to me, and what is transmuted in the words, is it's so real. And real can't be manufactured. It's so potent, and that's why it converts.
All right.
And it's just, I don't think about posts like, you know, something, you know, I know this, it's like, and when you read this, you don't know what I'm talking about. I have not
Right.
disclosed to you. Now, let me tell you what happened. There was this person and they did this thing. You have no idea what I'm talking about. So I've
Mm-hmm.
told you without telling you, and that's enough. So when people say things like, I don't want to put my whole life out there, what exactly did I put out there? Not really
Mm. Yeah.
anything. Really? What did I
Mm-hmm.
really put out there? I've been poked at, bullied, demeaned, humiliated, and betrayed. Hello, I'm human. Most people have, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
this converted. And the reason that I know that it converted, and what I want you guys to really think about as you move forward in whatever it is that you do, is something that I've gotten into the habit of asking is what prompted you to reach out? And what specifically prompted you to reach out? Was it a video that you saw? Was it a specific piece of content that you read? Because that tells me exactly what it was. And that's how I know what converted.
Good question. I don't know. I don't know if it was one particular thing, but I just noticed like you posted things about like you and your daughter, and I think it was on there. Or are you on? Am I on? Do I follow you on Facebook too, or are you just LinkedIn? But
Yeah, I'm on Facebook too.
Facebook too. Okay, so maybe I'm meshing the two, but and I just like the way that you write. I think it's like kind of conversational, similar to like how I would perhaps write or post things. And I don't know, you just seemed very genuine kind of a person versus like a lot of, I don't know, people that I've seen in like sort of like the similar industry. It just seems very, I don't know, salesy in a way. Like I'm not like opposed to sales, but I don't know. It just feels better. I don't know. I like your content. It feels natural.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
You're
and
welcome.
sometimes for some people, they're like, you know what? They'll say, like, I don't, it wasn't like a one thing. It was like, I've been following you for a while.
Right.
Or like,
Yeah.
you know, like I can't really put my finger on one thing, but I just know that and I'm gonna get to that actually, because there's something that I do. I'm not gonna cover it right in this second. I want to go over a couple of more things, um, but I will in just a second. But thank you for that.
You're
Um,
welcome.
so this one is more targeted. And what I mean by that is, let me just make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? Whoops. I don't know why I'm having a little bit of struggle here. One, what is going on? One, what's happening that I'm not able to go back? Hold on a second. Let me move this. Feel like this did not happen or do not happen. Stop now. Oh, maybe, oh, here we go. Okay. So with this one, let me just, so this one had, look at this one, 38,000 impressions,
Wow.
560 reactions, and 116 comments. I'm not the same woman that I was when I worked in the corp. This one was huge. I remember this so strongly. It was a Sunday, and it was such a huge, like, my phone was blowing up and I could feel this in my body. When I worked in corporate, I was an anxious workhorse and I missed out on so much of my life. Yes, I made a lot of money and that cost a freaking bundle. I missed out on my daughter's life. Even when I was there, I wasn't really there. See, again, it hits me in such a place because it was the truth. You know,
Right.
I would tell myself, like, I'm the classroom mom and I'm the cheer captain. You know, my daughter was one of the cheer captains. So I like did all the mom stuff and I went to all the things, but I wasn't there. Even though I was physically there, I wasn't there. And I tried to make myself feel better by physically being there, but I wasn't there. And she knew that I wasn't there. And she knew that I was trying,
Right.
but I couldn't dance in all the weddings. And it was very hard. And I'm so grateful. Like she and I were talking earlier this morning, and we were laughing about we were laughing about something. We're getting ready to go on a holiday together. She's turning 30 and I'm turning 60.
Oh,
And we're celebrating about something. And I have so much gratitude because, I was so scared to do this and I did it and I keep doing it. And I'm so grateful. And so when I think back to this wasn't my life for a year or two or three. This was my life for most of my life. So there's a sadness in the remembrance that I'm
mhm.
still sort of shedding because it was so long. This is like a little bit, and that was a longer bit. So there's still, when I think about it, there's still a part of me that's like, wow, how did I ever do that? Like, how did I do that for so long? I just can't even believe it.
Yeah, definitely.
So it makes sense to me why this is so powerful, but it also, the other part of it is that oh dear, why did I do that? Oh, here, is that when this happens on your content, make more of this content. That's what it's
Right.
telling you. Make more of this content because your community is telling you, like, yes, more of this, please. Just give me more of this, please. And conversions go up. I can post something like this on Facebook and I'll get, 5 likes and, it's not the same. This is the
Mhm.
right place. The other thing about hashtags is the bottom part. And if you can see, I don't know what's going on with this bottom thing or why I'm struggling so much, but the entrepreneurship, the personal development, success, and then the only one that's not really a hashtag, that's really a follow along one, is love your life. That one, if we search it, there's probably going to be nobody that follows that. But all the rest of them are very powerful hashtags. So we studied hashtags on your profile, but the same thing applies inside of a post. You want to
Mhm.
use, really kind of no more than 5 per se, and you want them to be purposeful. So this is a good example of that.
Gotcha.
So this one is way short. I don't really do that many of these, but polarizing from the standpoint of, like, I had quite a few people say, like, you do care what people think, and don't say that you don't care what people think. You do care what people think. And you wouldn't be on social media posting pictures about yourself all the time if you didn't care what people think. And I was like, oh dear, oh my, oh, like, so I didn't really get into it with anyone. I just let people, like, I stopped commenting back and people were fighting with other people and don't tell her what she thinks. And, I was like, oh dear. But polarizing is good when you have a strong opinion about something because it just kicks things up and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of conversations in the DMs. So
Right.
so the reason why this converted, this actually didn't convert specifically, like, give me the link. There was nothing thing, but what it did is that it started a lot of conversations. And from those conversations, it was like, so tell me again, what do you do? Like, what do you have going on? And it brought on conversion.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So here's it, just very simple, very gentle. Memories without the emotional charge is called wisdom. Let yesterday serve you, tomorrow excite you, and today nourish you. Live all the days of your life. I'm rooting for you. Very gentle, very simple. It doesn't always have to be a whole thing. So as I'm scrolling and as I'm studying and I see something that just touches my heart, I keep it on my phone. I write not almost, I write 100% of my posts from my phone.
Right.
So just very simple that way.
Mhm.
Another huge one, 16,000 impressions, 325, same kind of feeling when I was at my corporate job, side hustling, my coaching career. I couldn't see how I'd be able to financially make it. If I read this whole thing, I'll cry, so I won't. But you get the idea about, you know, that same, there's one line that's the hook in this one, and it is, let me just find the line. Let me just see. This is the magic of the entrepreneur's life, but more so it's how transformation happens. It's about bringing, maybe it might be a different post. So this one does not have any selling in it, although I do write results because I've 3x my income. So I do write about results, but I'm not selling in this post.
Gotcha.
And then this post was, I feel like I missed a post along the way, but this post was one of the first articles that I wrote, and it went wildly viral, and it had 242,000 reactions.
Wow.
And 2,800 comments and 17,000 shares. So when something like that happens, like you have to turn your phone off, like you have to turn your notifications off because it's not possible. Like you just can't,
Yeah.
like my phone was ringing. That's when I learned like I couldn't have my phone number on my account because you just can't, you know, like your phone starts ringing and it's very weird. And you're just like, what the heck is going on here? But that happens. It happens more frequently for people because of things like, oh, here's a couple other ones that got hidden. So this one is good when you make lists, you know, like when you're offering either 5 things to include in a course or 3 ways to reinvent your life. Or so people definitely like lists. Those are good. But if you made lists every single day, it'd be like, oh, here's another list she made. So you don't want to do the same thing over and over. If all I ever did was write stories about leaving corporate America, it would be like, that's it? Like, seriously?
Right.
So I don't do them all the time, but when I do them, they're amazing. So I spread them out, you know? And this one is a really good one. So this is a results post with an offer. So I said, you know, I started with a quote. She's an amazing realtor that I follow on Instagram. And then I name Alex and Belle and Allison and Christina and Andrea and Mindy and Kristen, and I talk about results. And then I do a outreach for book a call. And then that had a lot of impressions and a lot of reactions. So these are really good about, you know, just, so I am selling. I mean, that is a direct sales post. So this gives you guys a lot of examples.
Mm-hmm.
And really watching the how things are spaced, lots of spacing. Pretty consistent with the spacing. The headline, which is considered in copywriting the hook. So whether it's a quote or a question. So we're going to get into this next part. Let's just take like a second here. Let me just undo this whole commentator part. So I don't know if you read through the workbook or not yet, but let me, I want to go to, I'd rather be on the, I think it's easier to explain the commentator from looking at the platform. Can you guys see, or did I not share?
Not shared yet.
Okay, so let me go back. Okay, all right. So if in remembering about that the platform is only a, between 1% and 2% of people create content, then a lot of most of what happens on the platform is in the comments and in people driving by, the impressions. So this commentator strategy is really about what happens down here. And I'm going to go to, let's go to positive momentum. Okay. So this post was about, let's get caught up in a wave of positive momentum. Take a listen. Let me know how this lands for you. What are you working on this week? I really want to know. And this video is about creating positive momentum in your life. And so I tagged a whole bunch of people. What are you creating this week? So I asked a question, and then here, what a great idea. Positive momentum. That is a wonderful mindset reframe. My word of the week with Michelle Waters is targeted intention. And I'm going to add with positive momentum that phrase. Thank you for sharing this. Now I haven't responded to her yet. So, and he writes, what a wonderful message, Elise. And yes, 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 I've experienced the same thing. The power of mentally shifting ourselves away from the negative and truly embracing the positive is a complete game changer. Everything in my life has turned positive. And my belief is that in the intention that has driven this, the energy. So he goes on, right? Like he's got a lot to say, right? Like the energy we put our body in, our minds to the universe, which are essentially the same, changes our destiny path. I love this message, and it was a blessing to hear your voice and see your smiling face in my feed today. Have an amazing and beautiful rest of the day. Like, how sweet. We speak the same lingo, Tim West, which is why so much of what you post hits home. So I didn't write a long thing, but I acknowledged him, and I do really, really love his feed. And so what I want to point out about what he wrote is he was so generous in the comments. He posted a lot and he had a lot to say, and it was really interesting, I think, what he wrote, right? The energy we put in our minds into the universe, which are essentially the same, changes our destiny. I love this message. Like, he was so kind, he was so generous, he was so complimentary. He was like, who doesn't want Tim West in their feed? Trust me, you want this guy showing up in your feed. And so what he did, and look what happened. 6 people celebrated him, right? So what he didn't do was this. What a wonderful message, Elise. And yes, 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 I've experienced the same thing with my clients. I have a 6-step system where I help people take their energy and transform it into incredible results, where in 3 days they make $4 million. And he didn't do that, right? Or anything even close to that, or even subtly like that. And I actually have a few clients that do that a little bit. In their comments, they kind of a little bit are doing the positioning thing, and it's a turnoff. And people know, they feel it. And it's not just the person that's writing the stuff. Like most of the people that are strong content creators, at this point, I don't really care, but the people around see it. So if you're building your network and it's a network, like, wow, like what does Tim do? Oh my God, he's a content creator. Like maybe I need some help with my content. Let me go check out and see what he's all about. Such a cool guy. And, and then you're not a cool guy, like, so you want to be a cool human, I think, you want to be in the world. And And I'm not saying that you're not a cool human, but I think that there's some mindset or some limitation or some lack going on of feeling like, let me go on the post and then try to position myself in a way to put the light on me. Like, let me tell you all about me now. That just is off-putting because people can feel it. They can feel that, you know. I'm creating clarity in my life and space to move to more fully serve women, helping them thrive and achieve. I'm using positive momentum to move forth one step at a time, shaking off expectations and dismantling fear. Like, amazing, right? Thanks for the tag. Looking forward to connecting and learning from amazing people that are in your network. Beautiful. Positive momentum, changing the narrative in our minds, two things that are highly connective. Oh, awesome. I'm working on a sales page for the release of my upcoming parenting program. I'm so excited for our upcoming program and the work you do to help parents and families. So I'm going to stroke her, like I'm going to give it back to her. Thank you so much. Changing the negative into the positive have been a game changer for me. With so much loss over the last 2 years, I felt so much heaviness. Only in the past few months have I started to fully comprehend how powerful we humans truly are this year. You know, so, and I think people can really relate to that. So I think it's really important in the comments to watch how, if you're to just tap into your own self, whether or not you're trying to position yourself. Now, this woman, she reached out to me for coaching, right? So welcome and refreshing message to start the day. Blessed to have connected, Elise. Beautiful day wishes. And then I got a request for coaching. So you don't know like what it was. I'd have to listen back to this. Like, there was something that she felt very inspired after this video, you know. So sometimes you just don't know like what it is that people are gonna feel pulled and why. So the comments and showing up for other people and really being thoughtful about what you write and why you write what you write is a very important part, should be a very important part of your own strategy. It is a strategy. And so I want you guys to really think about it. I lost the workbook. I don't know why, but let me go back and get it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that either. Hold on a second, sorry. So hold on, where is it? We'll try it this way and see if it's better. Let's go to the commentator. Okay, so know your niche. Who is your ideal client and speak to them specifically. Find your influencers. So these are the people that are already attracting to your ideal clients. They're like-minded, so they're like you. And then this is all about letting it be easy. You guys can see this or no?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me just show you something as far as, let's just go back to LinkedIn for a second. So in your niche, there's a woman named, can't remember if her name is Kelly Dobson. Oops. Oops. What is wrong here? Kelly. Carrie. Here she is. Okay. So, for example, let's just take her. Create your program, your group program, a group program that will serve, support, and transform your dream clients. I can help. Design your group coaching with ease. 3 months of my year. Third month of my year of immense joy. Third month of my year of immense joy. What does that mean? I'm not exactly sure. What does that mean? Do we think?
Well, I guess I don't know what. I guess for a year she's trying to experience immense joy, and she's on the third month. but still very vague. But yeah,
Something like that.
yeah.
So what I mean by so she's in your niche, and so an example would be 60 minutes in a float tank changed my life forever. So, okay, so this is a very personal post. So we're going to go to, let's go to this post. So she writes a post and she says, stop pretending your sales pitch is a workshop, a webinar, a masterclass. I actually very much agree with
Yeah.
her. And so this is a long post. She kind of does a rant, right? So what I suggest that you do is you click on here and you look and you see, I'm going to show you a better post than this, but let me show you a better post. Let me show you a better post. Are you working on creating a resource for your program, planning out your year and schedule, blah, blah, blah? So now she's talking specifically to your niche, really specifically. So here, what I suggest that you do is that you come in here and you look at these people, because these people are following her, and they're following her because either A, they're interested in what she's doing, B, they just happened to stumble on her thing and they were like, oh, okay, well, I'll give her a little tap. Like, why not? But I would go with A, like maybe they're interested in a course. And they're seeing her as somebody that could potentially help them with a course. So you want to move her audience. So you're going to friend her audience. You're going to connect with her audience. And you're going to be in her audience because you're a colleague.
Right.
Then you're going to be in her audience and you're going to get, we want to know what her audience is thinking and what they're saying and what their point of view is. You're going to be in the audience and you're going to like, oh, that's really interesting. This is going to be fantastic. So much benefit of having the group energy and also creative time to go away and No. Oh, it's such a cool concept. You'll be like, oh, that sounds like a really cool concept. And yeah, okay, so tell me more. What's this? You got to start with your own program outcome. One of the first things. What's that?
Sorry, I clicked on I was trying to look at her profile too, and I clicked. I guess she has one of those talking profile things or something. And I was afraid everybody was hearing her say her name and stuff. I'm like, So okay, yeah, fascinating.
Yep. Yeah. So same thing. I'd go through here and like, obviously I wouldn't connect with this person, but the other people I certainly would, because, you know, like I said, they're following her for a reason. Now we had this conversation this morning about like, you know, some people might see this as like, oh, she's the competition. And like, I don't know if that's such a good idea. And it's like, okay, we're all colleagues on different parts of the spectrum. And in some cases, somebody might say, I have business coaches that are my clients, and I'm a business and I'm a mentor for people. In some cases, we have some conversations where I'm like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm the coach and I'm the mentor. And in other cases, so we're all human having an experience, and there might be things that she does that you're like, wow, that's really awesome. And she might hire you because she might start following you and go like, oh man, there's a whole slew of stuff that Mallory does that I have no clue about. And if I learned that stuff, it would just take what I do to a whole nother level. So a lot of times people in the same field hire each other for all sorts of different things. So it's smart, right? Every brand checks out every brand. It doesn't mean that we steal from them and we don't copy, we don't copy exactly what they're doing. Of course not. We have our own material, but we definitely want to, one of the best examples that I can give you is electric cars. They moved, Tesla moved an entire industry. Talk about an audience. He moved an industry. Cell phones, it was like, who's ever going to walk around with a phone? Come on. And there was that big huge Motorola thing. And, ha ha ha, like who doesn't have a cell phone? So that's moving an industry. So you want to move the audience, and you want to move the audience by noticing, number one, you want to know who has your audience, and then you want to connect with that audience. And that's what networking is. And that's what we're doing. And you want to build your audience with ideal people that are course creators. We just want to find the best ones.
Yeah.
The best ones. And so it takes a little time, right? She's got 629 and, so you just want to find like, Google, the top course creators on LinkedIn. And those top course creators are the ones that you want to follow and be, and move. And, like I don't follow a lot of course creators, but let's just see like who might be like a good. Let's go to first. So she was one of my clients, and she's a manifestation coach. So maybe she comes up as course creator because she created her own manifestation coach. I mean, course. I'm not really sure why she would come up as a course creator. I guess we're kind of all course creators because like I created this course, so I don't know. I don't think of her as necessarily a course creator, but let's put it in again. Course creator. And then we'll go to people and connections. We really want someone where like that's their specialty, not just that they created a course, but that they literally, that's what they do. So you'll play around with it and you'll find like literal course creators. I would even turn, like I said, turn to Google, and that's what I would look for. And then those are the people that I would connect to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So like Simon is somebody that's a friend of mine, and I help coaches leverage LinkedIn to amplify their impact and income. Like, and we're friends and we talk to each other and we connect with each other and we support each other, and we're very different and we're very similar and we really like each other. So it's good. It's healthy. It's magic. He shows up on my stuff. I show up on his stuff. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. So, some people are going to be your vibe and other people are not going to be your vibe. So, so it's good. It's really good. He's a great guy. He's definitely somebody I would follow for sure. Okay. So going back to, you're like, I could teach you a thing or two about this, putting your course together with this, your difficulty with your workbook. Oh my God. You can ping me after this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about influencers. You go to their profile, check them out, read a bunch of their posts and their audience's comments, and you make sure that you align with them. Turning on their bell. Okay, this is really important. You want to make sure that you're turning on the bell of the people that you want to get notified. Okay, so what that looks like is, okay, so I really like Simon. I want to know when Simon's posting. I want to know when Carrie Dobson is posting. You go to Carrie's thing and you turn on her bell. I want to know when Mallory's posting, so I'm going to go to Mallory.
And I didn't do my top thing yet, but
You will. You'll just tag me. Now I'm turning on, whoops. Get notified all of Mallory's posts, right? So,
cool.
yep. Oh my gosh. And you're probably cringing. You're like, oh God, somebody help this woman. There's so much hope. There's so much hope if this and be successful. Okay. As soon as, so when you turn on their bell, you're going to get in your notification section on your phone a note that says, you know, Simon Parsons just posted, Carrie Dobson just posted, Elise just posted, et cetera, et cetera. And then it gives you the chance to be one of the first people to comment, which is really cool because it stays up at the top that you commented. So if there are some key people that you want to be first, like Gary Vee or Simon Sinek or Brene Brown or somebody that is key, you know, you turn on the notifications for them.
Okay, cool.
And then, so that was number 5. Number 6, use your style, class, influence, knowledge, grit, humor, and truth to introduce people to who you are and what you think. Do not sell on those posts. So that is all about using the comments to grow your network and meet people. In the hashtags, we talked about the hashtags on your profile, the same thing in your posts. You want to only use 3 to 5 and just be smart about what you use. And here's a list of them. So just try to use the ones that line up the most with whatever it is that you're talking about. So if I was writing a post about, you know, my sister, the anniversary of my sister passing, and it's her birthday and missing her, it would be kind of weird to write like hashtag digital marketing or hashtag, you know, like, so just be thoughtful about like what would make sense. Like, okay, personal development, you know, hashtag personal development, hashtag, you know, maybe that's the only one, you know, hashtag love, hashtag, you know, whatever. But you just be thoughtful about the ones that you're using. So find and connect with people in your industry. The reason that you want to use them, they're going to help you with that. They're going to expand your organic reach and possibly help you go viral. They help you build a community and create a mission, and they help you to promote your services and your products. They are really good to use, especially when you use them well and use them right, as opposed to just using a whole bunch of random things. So the way to support a post in the most, all the things that you can do on a post is to read the post, love and like it, and react to it. Leave a comment that matches the post, which also means that if you don't have time, better wait and just do it when you do have time. And when you leave a misaligned post, it's like super awkward for everyone. So better to just wait. And then like all of the posts that are there. So an example of that would be, you could see again. Can you see LinkedIn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I've posted anything anytime recently.
All right, so I'll go to one of mine.
Yeah.
So for example, this one, I would, so there's a comment here. So if this was, say this wasn't my post, I would, I'd read the post and then I would like it or love it. Then I would leave a comment. Then I'd go down here and I would like it and then like it and then like it and like it and like it and again and again and again. And everything that you could possibly do to a post, you want to do to yours and
Right.
to anybody that's, you know, a colleague or a friend. So
Okay.
I'll write, comments back to these, masterclass program from a masterclass coach. That's so sweet. Keep inspiring and thriving. Like, what a nice thing for him to write, like such a nice guy. This is another such a nice guy. Always appreciate your epic, empowering energy. So nice. You're amazing. This is a friend of my mom's. You're amazing and such an inspiration. Like, really? Like,
No.
so sweet. So I'll write back and then I'll like all of those as well. And then, I'll look at these 61 and I'll go through them and I'll see whether or not there's anybody in here that I think would be a good fit for something to offer them. Like, hey, I am open for private coaching for 2023. Part of the bonus for that is giving the rest of the year as a bonus. Is that something that you might want to have a conversation about? And I do that, like people are like, really? Do you really do that? And I'm like, yeah, I really do. Like, yeah, I really do. I do that. I do that all the time. And I feel strongly like we're the advocate for our business. There is no
Hmm.
other advocate for our business. And, yes, there are going to be people that are going to say like, oh my gosh, I took Mallory's course. It was so amazing. You are going to get that. And that's amazing. And you'll have those testimonials. And outside of that, like who else is going to, you know, promote your business? Like that's our
Right.
responsibility. So I
Hmm.
promote my business. I'll ask people. I feel like if somebody's if somebody is showing up to my posts on a daily basis and they are I see them, pretty much every day, then I'm going to ask. And, or I'll just say like, oh, I have a new training and curious, like she's reached out and, this is interesting. This guy, he's kind of new on LinkedIn and I'm enjoying his content. I think he's kind of maybe a bigger deal on Instagram, but I don't know where these percentages come from. I'm actually going to ask him, but I thought that this was really interesting. 18% of prospects are ready to buy right now. 82% of prospects take more than 3 months to make a buying decision. 61% of prospects take more than 1 year to buy. And 44% of coaches are only making one follow-up after a meeting. Now, I don't know how he possibly knows this or where,
Right.
like how I find that really interesting and I love data, but like, how would you
Yeah.
possibly know this? Most of us are entrepreneurs. So like, where would you get this data even from? Nobody's asked
Right.
me, so
Yeah.
nobody's asked any, I don't know anybody that's asked. So,
Yeah.
but I do find it interesting, but I will say that, circling back and asking people like, hey, I wanted to check in, because it's such an interesting thing. I recently hired an advertising team and I spoke to him maybe 6 months ago and I just wasn't ready. It's not had nothing to do with like the money or I had assorted other things happening in my life. I'm just getting ready to settle a lawsuit I was hit by a drunk driver. I had
Oh my.
a whole bunch of things that were sort of colliding at the same time. And I just didn't feel like it. And he, zero pressure. He's like, you know what? You'll know when you're ready. Just
Right.
know I'm here. And he reached out to me about maybe a month ago or 6 weeks ago. And he's like, hey, I just want you to know that we changed our program and here's the details of our new program. Just whenever, if you ever feel like talking about it, let me know. I said, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate the new information and I'll be in touch. And one day I felt like it. You know, it
Yeah.
just, the day came on, one day I was like, you know what? I went into his inbox. And so the learning there was, you never know when somebody is an inch away from coming into your inbox. You don't know. And
Right.
so I appreciated him thinking to come into my inbox and say, hey, we have a new program. I want to give you the information. Whatever you feel like it, let me know. Because the day came when I felt like it. And now I'm his client and now I'm very excited, but I wasn't excited before.
Right.
I was interested in the information, but I wasn't ready. And it wasn't because I don't have self-esteem, and it wasn't because I don't know how to invest, or that I needed a committee, or I needed a push, or I didn't, and none of the above. I didn't, I wasn't ready. There was no, I don't have trauma from my childhood that stops me from investing. None of those things,
Right.
you know? And
Yeah.
I'm interested now. What's interesting about it, he gets like, there's really nothing happening here. I
Yeah.
mean, I find him interesting. He was like a drug addict, and he's
Oh
turned
wow.
into like, he's got, obviously he's very devoted to his business. He's very devoted to his well-being. He's turned his life around. Um,
Yeah.
and so I have a lot of admiration for that. I show up on a lot of his posts. Um, so I find him very interesting. And
Right.
yeah, I'd like to help him on LinkedIn actually, because I think,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I look for. I look for people where I'm like, you know something, dude, you should get more attention. Now, what's also interesting about him, and I would call him on this in a really loving way, is that he offered something and I said, I'd like that. And then he didn't follow up and give it to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And
So
if
I
you
would,
huh,
yeah. So I would say, hey, you offered something. And I raised my hand and I said, I'd like that, but you didn't give it to me.
yeah. Oh man.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
So, but I think the follow-up is a really important piece.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that maybe he's getting like too busy or something and needs like a virtual assistant or something. I feel like that could be the case with like people that are pretty good at what they do, but then like you only have so many hours in a day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the other part of the knowing, liking, trusting, which is probably something that you've heard, right? Like people are going to
Mhm.
buy if they know you and if they like you and if they trust you. But
Right.
the part of that that I want you to think about is that, and so when you said the thing about like, I like your content and I like how it feels, or I like how it reads, that I feel like in the 3 years that I've been online, that the feedback that I've gotten a lot of is that when people know themselves with you, and when people like themselves with you, and when people trust themselves with you, and when they
Hmm.
find you relatable, they purchase.
Right.
And so it's a little bit of a different, no, they know you and like you and trust you. It's the flip side of they know themselves with you. Like, oh, you know what? Uh, yeah, you really make me think about something in a different way, or you made me really kind of ponder something or pause. We live in a
Right.
very, give it to me now. I have 3 seconds to think about it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we live in a different kind of a pace, in a different kind of world. So I think if people feel like, well, I can learn with you, like you, I trust myself with you. That's a big step for people,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
asking people to take out their credit card and pay,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Hmm.
when you can bridge the gap and close that gap, in an online setting, or really in any setting, that's a big thing. So so I
Yeah.
wanted to share that because it's a different frame on the know, like, and trust. And I think that I've always run my business very client forward. I
Hmm.
very much focus on the client. I've just had to learn, how to boundary, like, just, this is what it is. This is the framework. And so I've gotten better at it over time, but it's taken some time because how to learn, how to do
Yeah.
it. But it's worked. It's worked.
Yeah, that sounds very similar to like sort of how I treat like my students, and like right now I really only have one. I don't know if I told you like exactly what I do, but currently, but it's like I've landed like the best learning specialist client one could have. Like I literally get to go with her to school every day. And so I get to work in schools and because I love schools and I love students, but I only have to focus on one. I used to teach 140 of them a day. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah, it's awesome.
wow. And how do you acquire a student?
Good question. Well, when I moved out here, I started just doing like public school teaching again, which is what I did in New Jersey. But then I happened to keep seeing this one job, and I guess, they didn't find like the right candidate until I applied, and they like hired me right away. So there's agencies out here in California that are like learning specialist agencies, or my bosses are also like educational therapists, which I'm working to like get certified in that. But and they were like, wow, like you have such diverse experience between like being a special ed teacher, and then also I did like in-home therapy for persons with autism like a number of years ago before I moved out here. And it's like I was like the perfect fit for this student that they had. And because most like learning specialists, like um you pick up like a number of clients and you have them like kind of like recurring every week, but like I only need one because I work with her full time basically. So it's pretty awesome.
Wow. So you're
Yeah.
with her, you go to school with her and you're with her throughout the day?
Yeah. Yeah. And so like I modify like all the assignments that are given to her, because so like she goes to a private school and therefore they don't have to offer special ed services. But this family is very affluent, so they can afford to pay for the private school and then pay for me to be there at school with her. So I'm basically like a one-on-one special ed teacher, which
Wow.
is crazy. Yeah.
And do you enjoy being with her?
Oh yeah, I love her. She's sweet. She and she had,
Oh,
yeah, we this is like our second year together. So like she's amazing. Yeah. And
oh,
she yeah.
that's so
And
special. How old is she?
she's 13 now.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was able to this year have my daughter attend the school that I work in. So now my daughter, who started kindergarten, gets to go to work with me. I'm gonna drop her off and then I go to my segment of the building, but it's really nice.
That's amazing. What a unique.
Yeah, I would never have imagined it. Like as a public school teacher, I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing. I didn't even know it was a possibility until I moved to California.
Wow, that's so cool. And do you like where you live?
I don't mind where I live. Like we're in NoHo, so um, like on the Burbank border. Um, but I have to travel all the way to like Westwood area, Beverly Hills-ish area for the school, and so I'm getting tired of the commute. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Maybe
try to
they can
like
make,
relocate.
yeah, maybe they can make it easier for you.
Yeah, that'll be my next like negotiation with my bosses.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like let's just sometimes, it's funny, I'm really into manifesting. I'm
Hmm.
just a master at it. And sometimes when we just put the positive momentum into like what would just be like the best thing,
Yeah,
just sort of like it happens.
yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what that would be, but either ideally like walking distance of the school, or
Wow, that'd be amazing.
yeah, that's what I'm aiming for right now. Walking distance.
Is it in Westwood?
Yeah, I think it's considered Westwood. Like I'm still kind of learning all these areas.
Yeah.
Like because like the zip code just comes up as Los Angeles, but
Yeah.
but when I drive through and get there, like Beverly Hills, I wound up driving through like some Beverly Hills kind of like neighborhoods, and I think it is technically like Westwood that I'm in.
Oh, how
So
lovely. That would be
yeah,
so nice. A cute little cottage or like a little something or
something.
other.
Yeah, so I have to find that because I'm a
Yeah.
single mom. So like this is I'm trying to figure it out. The real estate there is insane, but I'm trying to make it work.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. Sometimes, people that know people that have real estate that have a something or a building, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, there's a unit that's like, yeah,
Right. Yeah,
well, we
exactly.
should have known this sooner, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but we know it
Yeah.
now.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe like mentioning it to like my client's mom because like they're very like we're all like I'm pretty close to them now. And so like I would feel comfortable being like, hey, do you know anybody renting something or whatever? Because they
Yeah.
would have the means or I'll be right there. Sorry, my daughter's like that. But yeah, so hoping like I can get them to
Yeah.
help me out. So,
Yeah, yes, group manifestations are the best. There's one
exactly.
other thing that I want to show you. Do you want to let her in or do you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, no.
Hey, beauty. What's up? I'm almost done, sweetheart.
Mama, I wanted to say something to you.
Okay.
Um,
I love you. Thank you. That's what you wanted to tell me.
can
That's
I come
wonderful.
cuddle with you?
Okay, sure.
Yay.
Okay.
Hi.
You say hi. Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Let me
Hi,
turn
how
my.
are you? It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
What's your name? That's my therapist. This is Elise. Can you tell her your name? Are you going to be shy? Okay.
What's your name?
Her name
Tell
is Amelie.
Amelie?
Amelie.
That's
We're
such
gonna
a
say it.
that's such a beautiful name. I was going to try to guess. I would never have guessed in a million years. All right, before I tell your mom this last part, I just have to put on some lip gloss. So hold on a second, okay? Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Okay.
she has her makeup done here. She likes to put eyeshadow on.
Oh, it's beautiful. You reminded me that I didn't have my lip gloss on when I saw your beautiful face. Okay, I just want to tell your mom this one last part, okay? All right, when you post, can you open up your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to draw in here while I'm doing this?
Yeah.
Go into there.
Yay.
Okay.
So I think I said this earlier that I've done like 100% of my posts from my phone. I never ever post from my computer.
Right.
So the way that I start a post is from I just open up my phone on the very bottom. It's got all the, the home, my network, post, notifications and jobs. So I hit post.
Okay.
And then I
Okay.
write the post. And at the bottom of the post, when I'm getting ready to add the picture, so there's the camera, the little like video camera, and then there's something that looks like a picture.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I see. There's add a photo, take a video, use a template.
Yeah. So if you're
That's
if you're adding a picture,
Can you do that? What
Hold on, honey.
when you?
If we add a picture.
so I
Okay.
want you to just add any picture. It doesn't even matter which
I
one.
had
If you just add any picture at all.
Okay. Let's see.
You can see at the bottom, there's now a new menu in gray with little white pictures.
Let's see.
you see that?
Oh yeah. Okay. That's a little
And there's a
picture.
pencil and there's like like if you touch the pencil, it's it like zooms and rotates and does all of that.
You have to take a picture, okay?
Yeah, I'll take your picture. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I never knew this.
So the third one over is a link.
Oh.
If you tap the link, you can literally put like your calendar, or you can put your offer for a course. And what's super, super cool about this is that when you have a post and it, you have, 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, 40 comments, and you've put your link to the join my workshop or join my course or book an appointment or book a calendar appointment or something, that comment's dropped all the way down. But if you put it on the picture, it's right there and people can click it. And you can actually even say, book a call or blast off LinkedIn or whatever you want to call it. You can drop the link and you can name the
I
link.
need to tell you, Mama.
Oh, wow. Nice message. Thank you. Okay, nice. Yeah, this is neat.
Yeah, so it's a really, really nice feature. And one of the many things that I love about LinkedIn is where a lot of platforms don't want you to drop links and don't want you to go off the platform. They're helping you with your business.
Wow. Yeah, this is neat.
Yeah.
And that's cool that you can do
Can I
a,
do a picture?
well, you don't need to do a picture right now, but you see like you can put like a headline on it and they have little stickers. I like
That's
doing
neat.
that, and I made my own fake brain. I don't know. Doesn't is it you? Okay, you gotta take a shower. Okay. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's a really, really great, it's a new feature and it's a really great feature. You don't see people using it a lot yet, but you're going to start seeing people, they just don't know about it yet. So you're going
Yeah.
to see people using it more. So I love that feature.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yes, neat. Really neat.
Don't tickle my feet.
So between this next week, I'm available to you guys to ping me, let me know when your about section's done, your poster, any of the things. I'm going to convert this to a digital course that it'll be like, 5 minutes of like the headline, 5 minutes of like, or less, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, like
I have
really
a message
short
for you.
segments that
message
will all
for
be
you.
digital. And you guys will get that as a gift so that you can just play like the headline, the this, the that. And I'm going to sell it for just an opening price point to sell at volume. So I'll give that to you guys as a gift, but I do want to make myself available over the next week. If you guys want to, ask me like, can you read this or, whatever. And then I'll continue to tag you guys so that you start, a great post is like, hi, LinkedIn, this is my first post. Like, just be super just genuine, and people love that. Then you can just tag us in the comments. Like, and some of my new colleagues just wanted to say hi and nice meeting you, and we'll all come.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
All right, excellent. Any questions or anything, please just reach out anytime. I'm here to support.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Yes, you bet. You bet. All right. And I'm sending you a lot of love. Nice meeting you, hun.
Say bye. You say bye? No.
Bye.
Okay. All right.
All right. Bye. I'll see you soon.
See you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.